Hey guys, it's Kelsey. I'm back with another scrapbooking process video, and this is the second page in the double page layout from the first layout you guys already saw. So I'm kind of continuing those elements. I'm going to go ahead and do what I did on the first one and kind of lay out my main layers and then kind of lay out what the embellishment was that they did on their pages, and then I'll start tweaking from there. They had 6 photos on this layout. They had one vertical 4x6 and then 5 2x2s, 3x3s maybe. But I didn't have that many photos. I had 2 4x4s, so I'm just gonna try to make it work. So a lot of my stuff will be reworked just because I don't have the amount of photos that they did. I went ahead and got these banners glued down. I went ahead and brought in that first page so I could make sure those banners were lined up across both layouts. And I do all of this and get my photos glued down, and then I realize I didn't gut the background. So I pull everything back up so I can salvage the background where I can. I'm really trying to get extra layouts done this month, and gutting what I can from the 4 pages I do have is like vital to getting the layers I need for future layouts. So I'll have to go back and do that. But I am doing what I did on the first page. I have my 2 4x4s. I'm gluing them together and matting them together in some white so I can have kind of an extra layer there. And then I'll glue that down to the banners and then realize that I need to I need to gut. So I'll go back and redo all of that. But you can kind of see it has like this diagonal floral cluster design going. So there's a big floral cluster in the upper right hand corner, one in the lower left. And then there's this little together die cut, which I think is really sweet. So this little wood thing was another thing that was on this page that I decided not to use. So that will be saved for a future layout. Hopefully I'll get it used up this month. But I'm trying to see where they laid everything, and what I don't like I'm taking off. And then I'm trying to think about what I have next to me that I can add in to replace it. 3 of the smaller photos were underneath the banner that ran right by that together die cut, and since I don't have those photos, I kind of have room down there to do something else. So I'm trying to think about that, but I think this is where I'm like, I have these chipboard frames too that I got because they were part of this collection, and I'm finding them very difficult to use because obviously these pre-made pages are to give you kind of everything they need, and the frames are not working with the proportion photos that I have. So you'll see me pull those in and out trying to figure out how to use them. I was really optimistic when I bought them because I was like, I'll use them for embellishment clusters or just an extra layer behind the photo, and they're just not working. I tried that on the first page too, and I couldn't get them used up. So I'm really sad about that. I think I'll have some extra frames at the end of the month, but hopefully I will get some of them used up within these 4 initial pages. But so I'm trying to get these clusters glued down how I like them, just so that I have less pieces moving around. At least they're just one cluster. And you'll see once I start gluing all of this down, I'm like, I need to take it off to gut the background. So I don't do that just yet. The title that comes on this page is that together piece, and then underneath it says the secret ingredient love. So I'm thinking I can add some more of those black word like phrase die cuts on this page to go with the first page, but also to play off of that. So that's something I'm thinking about. I also use those Tim Holtz ideology label letter alphas on the first page, so I'm thinking I want to pull those in on this page as well. So I'll end up using those to kind of add to my title. But here I am, just still gluing things down and not realizing I haven't gut yet. All this stuff at the bottom I will not have to take off again because I'm only really worried about the big layer behind the photos and the banners, but I'm still surprised at myself that I got this far without realizing, or I started gluing stuff down, I guess, before gutting. But it's nice, these little simple stories page kits, because it kind of just, you put these pages together so quickly. They're just so much fun because it kind of just sets you up to do it. That I kind of just lost track of the whole point of this month with using this was to salvage and get extra stuff out of it. So, yep. Here's a couple of the things. There's a lot of like kitchen-y stuff in this kit, which is why I wanted to use it this month for How to Kill a Kit with Style this month. The theme is sweet and savory, so when I think of that, I think of food. When I think of food, I think of like home. So I thought this one was really nice with all the homey stuff, but is also like literal kitchen stuff in this. There's, colander and a mixer and this blender scale thing, and so I'm trying to get some of that squeaked in to all this stuff, just because it's part of the kit and then we're at home, and so I do squeeze that in with that little bird. I think it looks cute. It's just going to help connect that little bird up to this floral cluster and beef it out a little bit, since I'm not using that wood grain journaling spot that was there. These pages this whole kit this month is pretty much documenting our first several weeks with Franklin, and one of those things was how him and Billy, they were so funny together. We weren't quite sure how Billy would react to him, but they would just stare at each other for hours. Like, they entertained each other to no end. It was really funny. So Billy really loved him in the way that he gave him something to look at during the day. But it was really sad because Billy is such like a mama's boy. Like, he wants to be the only baby, which is why we never got another dog, because he likes playing with other dogs, but then he wants him to leave. He wants to be the only child. So whenever we were handling Franklin, it was so sad. He would cry because he's not the baby getting the attention, and he'd want to like shove himself between me and Franklin. It was ridiculous. Like, he's such a baby. But I definitely wanted to document these. They were never allowed to play together because I did not trust Billy to do, Franklin's just so little, and Billy would hurt him even on accident. So this is pretty much the extent of what they got to do. There's always some glass between them, or I was holding Franklin and shielding Billy. But I thought these photos were really cute. So that first one of Franklin standing up against the glass and Billy kind of looking at him, and then that other one we're in the backyard with Franklin, and Billy's kind of watching him through the door, which I thought was really cute. So we're pretty good about taking Franklin outside. They need UVB from the sun, which you don't get through the window pane because it blocks it. So they have UVB lights in their enclosure, which helps supplement it. But there's nothing better than the actual sun for a reptile. So we like to take him out so he can bask in the actual sunlight, especially during this time when it was summer. He was loving it. So he has to wear his little harness because I don't want him to run away if he gets scared by a bird or something, or a bird to come and try to steal him. So I needed him attached to me in some way. So I'm glad he has this little harness, which I think is so cute. So this is where I'm going in and adding the little Tim Holtz alphas. I'm just titling this Brothers, and then Brothers Together will kind of be the whole title with that word die cut thing. So I think that's cute. I just wanted another excuse to use those Tim Holtz letters. I think that Papa Black just adds so much to this page. I think it looks so cute. And the font goes really well with the font that's already in this collection. So that worked out really well. This is where I realized, like, oh, I need to take all of this off and gut it. I did tear one part of the paper a little bit, so I hope that won't be too much of a problem when I go to use that scrap later on, but I'm pretty confident I can just cover up the torn piece with something. So, yeah, this was a process. I was so annoyed at myself because, like, I felt like we were almost done with the page, and then I was like, oh, I have to take this all off again. But you can see I did add some more of those phrase die cuts to the upper right hand corner. I added some more brads, I added some staples, and I really like all of that. And now I'm going back to gut this little piece, and I'm pretty sure once I get this re-glued down, there's only a couple more things that I have to do. But I really like how it's coming along. That little chipboard heart I added to the lower left hand corner, I also stapled. There's a couple staples in that, so there's to be some staples on each corner of this diagonal. So I think that looks nice. And I think it looks really nice when the two pages are together because they both kind of have this diagonal line of embellishment and similar, like with the black word stickers, so I think they look really good as a double. I know you're kind of seeing them as singles, but I think, yeah, here you can see them together, and I think it just looks really nice. But I'm pulling this other page in again so I can line up these banners again to make sure that they're even, so when they go in the page they'll make sense. And then I'll get my photo back down. But I think this is a sweet little double. I'm adding this banner to the top. I'm just trying to find excuses to add more stuff. So this is the Come In, We're Awesome banner that I'm adding to the top there. And then similar on the last page, I decided that I wanted to get those little wood grain houses used up. So 2 of them are on the first page. I'll add 1 more to this page just so those form a little neighborhood across both of the layouts, which I think is really nice. And there you go. There's my little double. I think it looks adorable. So this was really fun. I still have another double to do with this collection, and then I'll have bonus pages where we'll try to use what I've salvaged from all 4 of these layouts. But here are the close-ups. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.